The following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN, the Bull Bear Binary Option Hour. Brought to you by Nadex. Now, Tom O'Brien, Darrell Martin, and Steve Rose.
Welcome, folks. Darrell Martin, Tom O'Brien. Appreciate you growling and prowling with us out here. Right now, we get the Dow up 49, NASDAQ up 9, S&Ps are up 5.5. And they're smoking gold this morning, folks. It's down $30. Typical Friday when you have a downtrend in the market. We're at $12.66. Silver's down 65 at 21.24. You get oil off a $1.88 at 101. Bonds are up 17 ticks, and the King Dollar is down 42 ticks. Now, folks, if you haven't test drove the Nadex platform yet, come over to our website at TFNN. You'll see the banner on the top and the side. You can hit that banner, bring the platform up. They'll put $25,000 of funding money into it, and you can be out there growling and prowling with us each and every day. It's an outstanding platform to trade off of. Our man, Mr. Darrell Martin, each and every trading day, 1 to 2 Eastern Standard Time, does an outstanding show. And most of the time, he's trading live on that Nadex platform. Darrell Martin, what's going on?
Hey, man, how you doing?
Doing great. You having a good day out there?
Having a great day. Yeah.
Nothing like a little volatility last few days, right?
Oh, I know, right? So, just, need a little volatility, just have Congress create a crisis, and we're good to go.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. It's pretty amazing. And what happens, folks, you've heard the ad many times, is that your trade is your stop. Bottom line, that's what it is. Once you get that account open, Darrell has an amazing analyzer. And what it does, folks, is it's not going to tell you what direction to go in, but what it absolutely does is gives you the best probability mathematically of what trade that you want to take and when you want to take it and why you want to take it. Because if you put together not only the selection of the contract, but then you use his pivot, well, you wouldn't call them pivot points. They're deviation levels, right? We'd use the deviation levels on top of that, right?
Yeah, I mean, they work sort of in this, similar concept as pivot levels. The big difference is they don't use historical pricing to determine what price the pivots will occur at. They use implied volatility out of the options market. So it's the market telling us how far the market's going to move. Being forward-casting, because it's literally how far they say it's going to move, versus this is how far it did move, so based on this volatility, this is what it will do tomorrow. So that's the big difference.
And that's also dynamic in updating, right?
Oh, yeah. Every single day we update it at 8:15. Exactly. Yeah, so literally it's pulling the implied volatility every night, and then that's where it factors in the deviation levels.
Yes.
And they have, as you've seen over the past, year or whatever that we've been doing the show, that is insane accuracy.
Yes. That's right. Yeah, because what happens, folks, is that you want to understand where to put the trades on, where to take them off. And what happens with these levels is that's when you're going to be basically probability-wise, like I've said a million times, nothing goes up forever, nothing goes down forever. It just doesn't happen. When you're trading, the bottom line is that your job is to take the trade off. Everything is always easy to buy, folks. The real question is, when are you selling?
No, the entry is the easy part. I mean, I've been in trading contests with other traders.
Yes.
And we've literally went the complete opposite direction on almost every single trade, and both of us made money.
Right.
And but it wasn't about our entries, which is so many traders get caught up. They think that's what it's all about. It's about your exits.
Yeah. Right. There's no doubt about that, man. The bottom line is that once you take the trade off, folks, guess what? There's always another trade. It's not even close either.
Yep.
They're out there. Let's go over and we take a look at this oil market for a second. I take a look at gold, but the reality, folks, is that the gold move, I expect what you're going to see is this. So we're down $30. You had the first acceleration down. It was vicious, okay? At the open, we had is that, you had gold go from the 1287 down to 1259. Now, what we have here is a high volume low. So even intraday. So what I expect you're going to have, they will, we've already done 125,000 contracts. That means we also have an expansion of volume. And in fact, this expansion of volume can actually break the swing which we haven't done with volume. Yeah, it's gonna blow it away, actually. Well, it's going to be close, because what does happen is that we're 10 Eastern Standard Time. What does happen on Fridays is most of the volume is going to come in by 11:30 noontime Eastern Time. But it can do the number. If this baby does, 200,000 contracts, then guess what? That bottom of June bottom of that 1236 will get hit today. What you'll see coming into the close is that you'll see another monster acceleration down. And if that's what we have, then the buy will set up next week. The buy's not here anyway, okay? But what I expect you get then you get a slap down that'll be absolutely breathtaking. What we've had with a few of these equities today is that they got under their June swing points, and those June swing points are crucial, folks. The reason being is that once they're under them, many of these equities can go about 4 or 5 points lower after that. After that level. So you're talking a big number, man. There's no doubt about it. Let's go take a look at oil. Now, oil might be tradable right here. CLX3.
Oh, and I have a couple of pretty cool announcements.
Oh, cool, man. Okay, here. Check it. Talk to us.
Okay, well, we talked about the deviation levels just now.
Yes.
And I've been talking about how we're going to be adding a lot more, instruments to them. Because it's not just Nadex. Now, we have futures and forex and everything else on there.
Okay.
And so we just did round 1, which added in 14 additional currency pairs.
Okay.
So, like more of the exotics. So you got like Aussie CAD, Aussie Franc, Aussie Yen.
Yes.
Which, Aussie Yen and Pound Yen are already on Nadex. They're adding, they have Euro Yen and they have Pound Yen. And they're actually working on right now, they have it in the demo on the binaries, they're adding the Aussie Yen and they're adding the Euro Pound. But while I was doing that, I was like, let's go ahead and get all these in here. We went ahead and got, Euro Aussie, Euro CAD, Euro Franc, Euro Pound, Euro Yen. Obviously, things that mean you probably don't trade a whole lot, but there's a lot of traders who, they like trading those exotics.
Yes.
And so we got those in there, and we're about, I'd say 4. 3 would be the aggressive number. 6 would be, conservative. Weeks out from implementing, and we've been talking about this for a while. We already I bought all the data and everything, got all that going, and we're going to have 40 additional futures contracts.
Okay.
So, like dollar index and bonds and things like that.
Yes.
And we're going to be adding in over 3,000 stock ETFs and indices. Basically, if it's optionable, we're going to have it. And because we have to have options for implied volatility.
Right.
And we're going to add in a 5-day deviation as well. So if you're
weekly, I see.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and if you're even if you're just like say a swing trader.
Yeah.
So during the week, it's really good to have that perspective on a 1 week implied deviation move.
Yes.
So you can know, hey, we're probably exhausting this week at this point. It'd make a lot of sense for the thing to turn around, or whatever. So we're going to add in the weeklies. We're going to add in the additional futures and the stocks, ETFs, indices as well. So that way, option traders and stock traders, everybody can actually start taking advantage of this tool because it's so accurate. And every single, it's funny. I applied it to 14 instruments that I basically don't trade, and was looking through all of them. It was just hitting deviation just perfectly. And so I'm pretty excited just to be able to get that out there.
Listen, I can see why. Well, it's really cool, folks. Okay, so watch. When he's talking about the deviation level on the weekly, and you have a weekly and a daily, with the bottom line is that confluence sets up. Let's say that on a daily, you have a vicious day, whether it's down or up. It hits the number. If that number is the same number as the weekly, folks, bottom line, that's a high probability trade, particularly when you're day trading. Yeah.
You get that confluence going in your favor.
Totally.
So it'll not only will add power to the, like you said, it'll add power to the intraday trades, but it'll also basically expand who can, take advantage of this resource. Because, as you know, most traders don't use statistical analysis.
Right.
They sort of, they go in, and it's the average trader. They go in, they use technicals, maybe some fundamentals, maybe some seasonals, but almost never do they use statistical analysis. And I don't mean getting in there and doing all the quantitative math and everything else, but just having a realistic expectation on how far a market's going to move.
No, well, the good news is that, with the analyzer, it's right in front of you. They don't have to do the math.
Exactly, yeah. We make it really, really easy. And so, we may even roll out, I know we've talked about this, maybe even just rolling out a deviation product just so people can get access to that. And like looking at gold right here, check this out. You were mentioning that this morning.
Yes.
And it went down, look at that, right to 2 deviations. Okay, you had that massive spike down right there in the morning. And we got a volume spike, which is one of the trades I've been talking about on air quite a bit lately, where when it hits a deviation level,
yes,
and you get a volume spike, then that's a high potential trade for doing like an in the money binary or spreads or there's a lot of ways to trade it. But it's a 2 deviation level and then just stops. And look at that, just like now it's just oscillating right there at that 2 deviation level perfectly.
Right.
And again, we posted these way back here at 8:15.
Yep.
And day after day. So one of the things I've noticed is when you zoom in and zoom out on your charts, your perspective, a bar can look a lot bigger than it is or a lot smaller than it is.
No doubt.
And you lose your perspective. And so one thing that I've really sort of an unintentional benefit, I almost feel naked now if I don't have them, because it lets me really see how far the market's moving, and the market has moved. And so I have that, perspective of where we're at right now. And versus just I'm zoomed in too close and the move looks big. So it helps out just on my perspective of a chart.
No,
so that's really helpful.
Absolutely. You know what's interesting here? It's two folks, okay, is that when I was pulling up the oil market, the oil is trading right off of gold, too. It's about a half hour behind. That's going to be a problem for oil. Oil also got that high volume spike this morning at 100.60. So what we're going to see here is that we're going to see that get tested. You're going to see the lows of gold get tested. And what hasn't happened yet is that we had the large move in the dollar, twice off the bottom thus far. Now, you're going sideways out here today, but this dollar index, folks, is going to continue to keep a hammer on that commodity market. Right now, if we take a look at the commodity market, gold and silver are the ones that are getting whacked. You have silver down 3%, gold's down 2.2%, oil's off 1.6%, heat and oil's off 1.6%, you get gasoline off 1.2%. The rest of them, you get the rest of them are basically flat except natural gas. Natural gas has some juice underneath this morning. That baby's up 1.4%. So inside that market, what I expect you're going to have is that the correlation between this dollar, gold has been saying the dollar wants to go up, period. Gold probably has another $100 down, and we'll see whether it decides to go another 30 down today. But I suspect when we're coming into the close, it's going to do at least another 20 down. The longer that right now. So check this out. The longer that we let me get this up here. The longer that we go sideways.
So what's up with that? With signing Yellen and knowing she's going to pump away, just like Bernanke has. What's adding to that strength in the dollar besides everybody being afraid of Congress?
It's just that the dollar is the king, man. I mean, it's just it's a correlation. No, it really is.
Yeah, you're right. I know. It's
a correlation of what other fiat currencies are out there. Okay, so you can go to South America and blow your brains out. Inflation's everywhere in South America. You can go to Europe and, you really want to do the euro? Forget it. Not even close. You can go to China and they'll just take all, that's just slavery. That's what's really going on with the dollar. The dollar is the dollar, man. You know what I mean? It might be worth less in the future like every fiat currency, but guess what? You're going to have the dollar, Darrell Martin, Tom O'Brien, appreciate you growling and prowling with us. You stay right there, folks. We're coming right back.
Andy Hecht, the host of the Commodities Hour, recently launched his newsletter service, the Technomental Commodity Report, and only 6 weeks in, Andy has already recorded a triple-digit winner. Andy advised his subscribers to purchase a long-term call option at 46 cents on July 11th, and then sent out a special update Friday, August 16th, advising his subscribers to close that position at $1.40. That's a 204% profit in just 5 weeks. The Technomental Commodity Report by Andy Hecht is released each Thursday morning, and right now you can get a month-long free trial to this subscription while locking in the low introductory rate of only $39 a month. Andy Hecht has been a commodities trader for over 3 decades. Let his experience work for you. Sign up for your month-long free trial to the Technomental Commodity Report today at TFNN.com.
with the launch of Tiger TV. TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pesavento, Andy Hecht, Victor Jones, or Darrell Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Wouldn't it be great if you could get a red light, green light indicator that gives you signals on 25 different futures contracts? Now you can with Taz Signal Box. This red light, green light market profile system dynamically updates 24 hours a day and provides you with important trend and trade signals on 9 different commodities, 9 different indices, and 8 different currencies. Right now you can receive a 2-week free trial to Taz Signal Box. For all the details and to find out how the Signal Box works, visit the front page of TFNN.com. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is the only software package available with a built-in Gartley and Butterfly pattern scanner that will scan thousands of stocks, ETFs, and indices each day to find these patterns and then make them available to you with just a single click of your mouse. Tom O'Brien and Dave White will be hosting a live event for all Art of Timing the Trade Chart subscribers on October 16th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. And for a limited time, we're offering a promotion where new signups can gain access to this powerful charting software, as well as the live study session workshop coming up this Wednesday night for only $1. That's right, $1 for the whole month with the class included. Remember, this offer is only good till this coming Wednesday night when the workshop takes place live with Tom O'Brien and Dave White, so don't delay. For all the details, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Darrell Martin, Tom O'Brien. Appreciate you growling and prowling out here with us. Right now, you get the Dow up 30, Nasdaq up 5, S&Ps are up 4. And, you know, it's got this gold market, folks, on a Friday, man. It's just such a trip. And it's going to get interesting here, maybe before Darrell and I even actually get off the air. So you built cars now for about 60 minutes. And you know, the longer that we build cars, well, actually, 8:20, 9:20, yeah, it's almost 2 hours right now. They're going to try to jam this thing. I suspect it's not going to happen until about 11:30, 12 o'clock Eastern time, but we'll see how that baby does shake out. The silver market, SIZ3, we take a look at silver. Silver is 33,000 contracts. Let's see what we're coming into here. Yeah, she has way too many contracts. She's coming into 54,000. So this baby is not over. Silver also has that high volume. Silver has a monster volume spike, by the way. That spikes at 20.95. You know, that little baby is gonna get down there. So we'll see whether it gets down there. Intraday, all this basically comes right into next week. If you haven't test drove the Nadex platform yet, folks, come over to our website. You can hit the banner at the top on the side. It's a great platform to trade with. You don't need a huge amount of money, folks. And the key there, flat out, which Darrell and I have talked about many times, is you do not have to go put up $1,000 and $2,000. It's tempting to do it, I can tell you that, okay? Because when you look at the aspect of how many contracts you can get for that much money, but I'm telling you, don't do it, because you don't have to, okay? Once you get used to it, you know, you can put up basically $50, $100 per trade, and yes, you're looking for $200, $250, whatever, and that's the essence percentage-wise, so you can put on a lot more trades. And I think one of the biggest challenges, and you'll see this when you just bring up the demonstration model, is that you'll hit it right a couple times and the money is huge, and then you'll say, oh, I got to do this every time. Well, that's not, plunger is not the way it's at, folks. You want to get consistent and you want to get doubles and triples and, you know, keep doing it like that. That's the real bottom line, so.
Yeah. One of the things, too, with that, that I wanted to bring out, because you're talking about, you know, the risk, and I was talking to a trader. They had a small account, you know, like $1,000 in their account.
Okay.
And they were trying to figure out how to trade, and you know, it's sort of been like a little harsh on like the Nasdaq spreads on Nadex.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
But we found I guess where we're at, I didn't even think about it, but there's actually a good reason to be a trader of them. And as you know, the reason I don't like the Nasdaq spreads, and I'll bring them up over here on this trend scanner. Let's see here. Is on these spreads right here, they tick in an increment of like 1, literally like a tick size of 1.
Yes.
So Nasdaq has to move 4 ticks for you to get, and every tick on Nadex is worth $1. So Nasdaq has to literally move that many ticks for you to get anything. Okay.
Right.
And so I wasn't, you know, I'm like, well, that's stupid. And you look at the spreads, they're also really narrow. They're only like 30 points wide. Well, they're 30 points wide because, you know, that's they tick in 1, you know. So
yes.
And so I was like, well, that's worthless. That's not worth my time. But if you're a new trader to Nadex, or if you have a small account, or both, they're actually great, because you can go in there and you can risk like $7, $8, $10, $20 easily. Okay.
Yes.
And you can even use, like, say, stop loss management, like a 4-point stop loss or 5-point stop loss on Nasdaq.
Yeah. Which
is a pretty decent sized stop loss, you know. And so you can use like a 4 or 5-point stop loss trading if you wanted to decide to get out of the trade, and you'd only lose like $5. Okay. Now, on the flip side, if it goes 5 points in your favor, you're only going to make like $5. Okay, so that's why I don't like them. That's why you don't like them.
Right.
But if you're a new trader and you're not wanting to burn through your account really quick, because you may end up risking like $20 or $30 if you're doing Russell.
Sure.
You know, and that doesn't sound like a whole lot unless you lose $20 like 5 times in a day.
Right.
You know, now it's $100. You just lost 10% of your money, you know, in one day. So though I wouldn't like recommend them for experienced traders or and when I say experienced, I mean traders that know, you know, Nadex spreads.
Right.
For a brand new trader coming in, and the first goal is, I mean, your first goal is to trade well. I mean, I don't care if you're making $1 a day. If you can do that consistently, great. Now we can take you to another level. But it allows you to come in with very low risk and trade almost with less leverage, would be a way to put it. So you can start just to learn how they move and keep your risk, you know, really in check at the same time.
No doubt. Darrell Martin, Tom O'Brien, you stay right there, folks. We have the Dow up 36, Nasdaq up 9, S&P's up 4.5. We're going to be right back.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, Nasdaq, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
No matter where you listen to TFNN programming, we want you to know you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones and iPads, located at the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV, but if you don't have a mobile connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all of our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and radio call and talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com. Educating investors.
Darrell Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his diagnostic box spread analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Darrell Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's Nadex.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Darrell Martin, Tom O'Brien. Appreciate you growling and prowling with us out here. And, folks, come October 22nd is going to be the 600th edition of the Gold Report. We have a special that's going on right now. You can get 60 editions of the Gold Report for only $600. Normally, it's $89 a month. You can get it $10 a week. That's going to be good until the 22nd. It's on the front page of TFNN. And if we do take a look at the gold market, folks, what you're going to have, Mr. Darrell Martin had picked this up, which is pretty cool, is that what happened in the first spike down this morning is that the CME actually stopped trading, okay? So you have two different things that are happening here. It does get interesting. So picture this. There is no, in a gold market, folks, there's no limit down, okay? So that's dramatic in itself in a future market, but there's no limit down. That's the first part. The second part goes like this, though. The CME basically stopped it, okay? Now, that's unusual in the case because guess what? What their claim is that, hey, there was a lot of stop-loss orders underneath there, and they just thought it was getting hit too hard. Well, guess what? Doesn't matter what they think, okay?
I know, isn't that amazing? Like, no, like, oh, we think it's going down a little too fast, and so we're gonna just shut it down for 10 seconds.
That's right. That's the. So now Mortimer must be in charge of the exchange over there, man.
I mean, it's like, oh well, now not only do your stops get jumped, but now the CME just closes it down for 10 seconds for you and lets it jump right past it because it's not open to hit it. Yeah, that's pretty. I like this. They got that Nadex chart up there too. And they actually show like where all trading activity stopped right there.
Yeah, and what you have here, folks, is this. So watch what happened here. So it gets down to the 12.59, and the 10-second, just the 10-second alone gave it that breather that it opened $8 higher 10 seconds later. Okay? Bottom line, now what can you get out of that? Well, you're going to get two different things. The first part is that as a trader, and these big desks know that, okay, number one, that means that someone is long that they're trying to get out right now. That's the first part, okay? And more than likely in the last hour and a half, more than likely they probably got out. Number two, though, which is more important, is that there's always bulls and bears. The bears know that, guess what? They're going to go after this again because they know there's more stops underneath that. And this is where this is going to get really wild. And the reason there'd be more stops underneath it, folks, is the longer-term basis. See, the shorter-term basis goes like this. The shorter-term basis has to do with the swing point of 1276. You know, that's just a technical swing point, big deal, okay? So it blew that away. But the longer-term deal is that, okay, now, the 28th of June, the high there was 1236. So a larger trader is going to know that, okay, man, what's going to happen when we get down there? Because what you're going to have down there, the amount of stops that are going to be, and this is why I think we're going to not only get down there, but we're going to spike that thing. The amount of stops that are going to be at those levels, folks, are going to be insane, okay? And this is why. Because we came off that in June 28th, we're at October 11th, and what happens in the future market, unfortunately, is people will parlay up, okay, instead of basically parlaying down, okay? You know, if you parlay down, folks, you should understand what you're doing, meaning that you're not doubling down. You're setting that trade up prior to that, okay? But the bottom line is that they parlay up. Well, anyone who's parlayed up has basically been taken to the cleaners here in a big way. So this is going to get interesting watching how we come into those levels. Let's go here. SI, I guess I want to look at the silver market and see if they close the silver market too. That'd be well, you know what's here? We got to look at this because you know what happened, folks. Silver went down, and so didn't SIZ3, and so did rather oil. Okay, they didn't close the silver market. And there's no way they closed the oil market. See, this is interesting, man. We'll see what happens. But that's telling me that there's just someone, that someone was taken care of, basically. So.
Yeah.
Seriously, I mean,
that's a scary truth right there.
Well, it's not a clean deck, folks. It's just not a clean deck, man. Because that kind of says it right there. They didn't close silver. Silver went the same way. I know one of the targets say it must be nice. It must be. I mean, and I know that sounds outlandish, folks. Okay, but the bottom line is that guess what? They didn't close silver. They didn't close oil. And 10 seconds, in the futures market, folks, is like a new day. It's absolutely like a new day. So.
Well, I mean, check this out. I mean, we got the silver right here. We got that volume spike, which is what I've been talking about so much lately.
Yes.
And I mean, just perfect right there. You got a deviation level. You got a volume spike, breaks the high. I mean, it's just amazing that all this stuff is going on. But I think this reiterates the point that you've made a lot. I've made a lot of. If you're going to the futures market, unless you got a sizable account, okay,
right,
and you really know how to manage risk either way, you better have a really good risk management plan, and that's why we like Nadex so much, because you never know when crap like this is going to happen, and you know what? You basically had Nadex didn't get shut down for 10 seconds.
That's right.
Okay.
And you know what's going to happen, folks. Yeah. See that when you're in this market a long time, you know what's going to happen. I mean, when people say to me, well, Darrell just said it. You know what's going to happen. I mean, I've seen, the things that you think can never happen, not always happen, but they happen at least 2 or 3 times a year, folks. There's no two ways about it, man. That's just the way it is, because it's the foundation itself, okay? So picture this. In Las Vegas, folks, what ends up happening is that everyone tries to beat Las Vegas, okay? And Las Vegas basically does a great job of making sure that they don't get beat, okay? The market's not the same. The market, folks, okay, Goldman Sachs has a revolving door between Goldman Sachs and the regulators, and the big broker deals have a revolving door. So it's not the same. It's just absolutely not the same, okay? Because it's one thing. In Vegas, they're trying to take a company. The company saying, no, you can't take me. In the market, what ends up happening is that there are always these deals out here, and, you know, it looks like when you look at the SEC that, yeah, they get a lot of people. Guess what? They never, big banks, big broker dealers, how much money you want, SEC? That's all it comes down to. And there's never that discovery out there. There's, you know, people never want discovery, folks, okay? When you have discovery, the bottom line is a million things that can come out. And think, you know, when you talk about discovery, folks, if we go back to Warren Buffett for a second, one of the biggest things that happened that just got buried under the carpet in a huge way during the whole financial debacle was, you know, his reinsurance company. I mean, the CEO, it basically is in the can, okay? And out of all of that, Buffett didn't even get subpoenaed. That's like insanity. I mean, and they had him on a phone call, okay? And I'm just bringing this up so you can understand that there's protections that are out there that are amazing, okay? So bottom line...
Need to get a membership card to that club.
Oh, man, let me tell you, man. You know, when you read the General Ree story, man, it's like, you got to be kidding me, man, because what's going on there is that the CEO that basically they took down and Buffett were on the phone, and what it was about the reinsurance, and it was about the it was basically fraud, okay? And guess what? No subpoena, you know, zero. So it's wild. But anyway, to get back to the Nadex platform, folks, the key, which is really dynamite, is that guess what? You can get in the middle of that trade, and you can let them go up and down, and guess what? You have time on your side in a huge way, and it's just a great platform that you can use a least amount of money, set up the trade, and what is happening as it gets more traffic, the spreads are coming in more. It's getting more dynamic, and the platform itself is fast. I mean, it's really fast, actually. What's really neat, which, you know, Darrell talks about on the show, and we've seen many times even when we have the show here, is that once you're in, make sure you put your sell in or your buy to close. Because
oh my gosh.
because these spikes that happen, guess what? The spikes that happen, the premiums that come in and go out of the contracts are fast and furious. They're lightning fast, folks. So what ends up happening is that you can just have that one spike, and guess what? You're out of the trade. Or if you're buying and you're looking for that spike, guess what? You're in the trade. So it's wild watching this whole thing shake out.
Well, I've had some trades where I put on. I even had one yesterday. I was sort of pissed off about it. I went in and I went. They were good trades. I went in. I sold for like $80, $85. Okay. On one of the binaries over there, and I closed one out. I was about to close the other one out and didn't get to it. And but I mean, it went down to like $4. And I hesitated, and it was my fault. I should not have. It was like an 8, 4. I'm like, should I close this thing? I'm like, you know what? Yes, I should close it. So I closed the first one, but I waited too long, and then bam! It flew all the way back up.
And too long.
I mean, it only cost me $15 a contract, but it didn't cost me just $15 a contract. What it really cost me was about $95 a contract, because all that profit was gone too. So it's, you know, I know the rule. I've made it for myself. I just broke it on that one trade, and it's like when you get in, set your take profit. You know, especially when you're doing binaries.
Now, folks, what Darrell just set up there is crucial to understand when you're trading. It's not it's not one side. It's what you didn't get on the other side also. You know, and that's huge to understand, because the quicker that you understand that, the more that you'll take your money off the table. Okay, so it's not that you just lost; it's that you didn't get what you could have gained. Okay, and one of those, a day or a week, make a huge difference at the end of the year, you know. So it's a big number. Yeah, I got to tell you a funny story. I'm with a guy yesterday morning working out, and he asked me what I did, right? And so I told him.
That's always a hard question for us to answer, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
My wife's like, what do I say when people ask what you do?
Yeah.
I'm like, I trade and help other people learn how to do it, too.
Yeah, well, and it was so cool because what happens is that he said to me, he says, oh, man, he says, that's like Las Vegas. I says, yeah, it is. I says, and the problem that I see and have seen forever is that the investment community, meaning the Fidelities of the world and the Goldmans and everyone else, they make like this thing is like investing. And that's why people lose so much money. Because if you think that you are investing, folks, and I mean, you got to remember something. Fidelity is the biggest day trader in the whole world. Think about that for a second, okay? They have the most amount of trades. That in itself says everything. And folks, I go all the way back to 1994, has Fidelity. I remember how they were masking this. I'm looking at them. Because what ended up happening, I was looking at the turnover of their funds. I says, man, these guys are day traders, right? And so the key to get out of that is that we talk about probability a lot. You better understand, even when you're investing, that the probability is the name of the game, okay? Because if you don't, and you just say, oh, I'm just going to leave it out there, guess what? You leave money out there, it's down the tubes, folks. It's amazing, you know. But
yeah, I mean, you gotta have that. You have to have that system, that probability. I mean, this is where like things like deviation statistics come into play. You have to have your risk management under control.
It does.
And because I get that question, it's like, well, is this just gambling? I'm like, well, if you don't have a system, if you don't have proper risk management, if you don't have your emotions in check, you know, if you don't know your exits before you get in, yes. So, and you know what? One of my friends, he's a professional blackjack player. And he tried to be a trader. It didn't go well for him. He'd go in and he'd lose like 30 grand and go make it back on the weekend at the casinos. And he counts cards and everything else. And he also plays poker a lot. And but he'll talk about it. He's like, yeah, it's like I love the gamblers. You know, the thing is, he's the guy sitting there at the poker table playing with them. You know, but it's like they'll come in and they're like, oh, this is just for fun, or it's a hobby, or it would be cool if I could make some money. You know, but it's fun money. And a lot of people approach the market the exact same way. It's fun money. Whereas he sat down, he memorized the stats, he knows what's going on, he has his plan. You know, he's learned how to read the market, the other participants, and he knows when to alter his plan based on things that he's reading. And that's why he can go in and make consistent income. Almost every weekend he goes in, he does really well. But no, it's not gambling to him. It's gambling, like Phil Hellmuth. It's not gambling to him. No, you don't win the most World Series of Poker, rings without doing that. By gambling, you win that because you actually have the probabilities in your favor, as you said. That's right, and that's my point. More than anything, is that listen, you better have money management in place, okay? Because if you don't, what ends up happening is that when the downdraft comes in, it's always dramatic, and if you just leave your bread there. It's not where it's at, folks. Okay, can you get some of these equities at really inexpensive prices? Yeah, you can. If you have that patience, then guess what? You know, like I tell you, you know, this next buy in the gold market, man, is going to be an amazing buy. You know, and you're going to have to, you know, hold your nose in an extraordinary way to do it. But guess what? It's coming in. The first one came in. The second one will come in, and that is a different ball game. But the way the market always is that the fear of coming in on a downtrend like that is very hard to do. Darrell Martin, Tom O'Brien, you stay right there, folks. Right now, the Dow's flat, Nasdaq's flat, S&P's are up 1, gold's down 30, silver's off 67. We're going to come right back, folks.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pezzavento's trading newsletter.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the Forex market, and more. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you the edge you've been looking for. Try patterns, profits, and peace of mind absolutely free for 2 full weeks. That's an $85 value. Yours free when you register right now.
Get Larry's patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
And get the edge you've been looking for.
TFNN has just announced a special sale for 2 weeks only for the Gold Report. To celebrate the 600th weekly issue of Tom O'Brien's Gold Report being published on October 22nd, TFNN is having a special one-time sale. From now until October 22nd only, you can receive 60 weeks of the Gold Report. That's 14 months for only $600. We're offering Tom O'Brien's dynamic weekly newsletter at only $10 a week, which is almost half off the regular monthly price. The Gold Report is published every Tuesday and provides subscribers with Tom O'Brien's expert commentary on the industry, as well as detailed information on a variety of mining equities. Take advantage of this one-time special offer and pay only $600 for 60 weeks of the Gold Report. This offer is valid for current or new subscribers. Everyone is welcome to take part in this special promotion as we celebrate the 600th weekly issue of the Gold Report. All the details are on the front page of TFNN.com. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
What's the one thing that pulls people back from the breakthrough that they're moving towards? What's the only thing that really stops people from taking action? You and I both know the answer, and sure, we can come up with the reasons why we're not where we want to be, but the only reason that we don't do more with our life is fear. Or if you're an overachiever, call it stress. Simply put, there's something that happened to us in our past that's holding us back from the life we deserve, yet you and I are okay, we're here. So why should we let our past control our future? Exactly. We shouldn't. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes with TFNN.com, and when it comes to your trading and investing, I can help you overcome your fear of loss. Together, we'll turn weakness into strength with a system I've developed called Mastering Probability. I'll teach you how to make your money work harder for you than you do for it. I'll teach you the tools that provide financial freedom. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com, click on my name, Steve Rhodes, and begin your journey of mastering probability risk-free. It's time to become a pioneer of your future versus a prisoner of your past.
Catch Basil Chapman as he uses his Chapman Wave methodology to call the markets. The Tiger Technicians Hour, next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. Darrell Martin, Tom O'Brien. Appreciate you growling and prowling out here with us. Right now, you get the Dow, NASDAQ flat, S&Ps are flat. And, of course, the real interesting thing coming up when our man, Mr. Basil Chapman, comes up is going to be like, what is this gold and silver market and commodities market going to do, folks? Because you're coming into that Friday. Well, we're into the Friday, but you got to remember something. So the actual pit closes at 1:30 Eastern Time. Electronically, we don't close until 4. You know, it has a long time to basically get taken apart. What we did have yesterday is at I think it was at 3. No, Andy was on, so that was at, so it was 3:15. At 3:15 Eastern Time, you had probably a broker-dealer or a fund come in. They sold 3,400 contracts. And that basically took it down. It was down $10. That took it down another $10. And that's what you can expect when it gets less liquid, folks. So it's going to get interesting. And as we talk about the Nadex product, what the difference is, of course, is that the spikes work in your favor, which is pretty amazing.
Check this out. I got up a binary and a spread chart from Nadex.
Okay.
Inside the platform, you can open up the chart for the derivative itself.
Yes.
And because I just want to check and see, like, did it close down for 10 seconds? Right?
Okay.
And I know it didn't, but I just want to see it.
Sure.
You can pull up tick charts, you can pull up second charts, whatever. But you can actually. I went through here and it did not have that close down.
Which is so sweet.
During that time frame, yeah.
Right.
It was still open, it was going. And this is a pretty cool point, obviously. I mean, that would have been a sweet trade to be in.
Right.
But right there on gold, you would have had, if you're selling for $90 on a binary, whatever your sell price is, that's your profit potential.
Right.
If you're buying, your buy price is your risk.
Right.
Okay, and the difference of $100 in that is, the opposite side. So if I sold for 90, the difference between 90 and 100 is $10. My risk was $10. And so literally right here, for a $10 risk, being short on gold this morning, right after the open, which people were.
Yes.
So, and I mean, it was already trending down anyway. And boom, I mean, you're talking within a second. Okay.
That's amazing.
It went from 90 to 30. So you made $60 in
10.
a second. On 10.
On 10.
600% return in 1 second.
Right. And that's the key, folks, is that when you're putting these on, is to put your order into close. That's one of the biggest things. And you're going to see, whether it's the currencies, and the currencies on Nadex platform are dynamite to trade, folks, okay? They're very clean. And of course, what we're talking about, we're looking for spikes. You're looking for volatility. What you don't want is flat markets. Flat markets basically are bogus. Well, they're bogus for traders. Let's put it that way. Right.
Yeah, well, actually, Nadex, what's pretty cool is I have quite a few neutral strategies that I'll trade on there too, and it's where I'll go in and I'll actually now there's random walk, which is I want it to move either way. I don't care.
Yes.
Volatility, but also I'll do neutral strategies. I'll do these on the air a lot, where we'll go in and I'll say, hey, the market's going to expire above this or below this or in between this range.
Sure.
And it's sort of, one of the things we often can forget. I talk to traders all the time. They always forget about this because they're like, oh, this is horrible, and I don't like the spread, or I don't like this, or I don't like that. And I'm like, well, flip it around.
No,
so if you don't like something, go the other way.
And you do really well at that. And there's no doubt. I'm just prejudiced to volatility.
Well, you make a lot more money in volatility. So I totally concede to the fact, absolute fact, that you cannot make as much money in a range-bound market.
Too. You lose more money too. It's not a one-way deal, okay? But what does happen, folks, is that when you're on top of it, and you basically, if you're going to, come in and decide that, okay, man, I'm going to be really whaling it, because what does happen with traders, and this is, just, you should understand this yourself. Every day is different, folks, okay? And, it's just like a workout. So you want to be always prepared. You stay right there, folks. Mr. Basil Chapman's coming up next, and Nico and Paige are going to keep you healthy. Darrell's going to be right back. Have a great day, safe day. David White, myself, will be back this afternoon. Thanks, Darrell. Have a great one, man. Have a safe one.
Hey, thanks, man. You too.
Are you ready to ride the next bull market wave? Catch the Chapman Wave. Using the Chapman Wave methodology, Basil's very comprehensive daily newsletter, The Opening Call, gives the short, intermediate, long-term analysis for the key indexes. In his Trader's Corner, he gives a brief market summary and expectation for the day with possible trades, both long and short, which are reviewed daily. A position subscribers sold recently for a 42% on part, plus a 64% on rest, at Hertz Global as a core position for 6 months before exiting the position. A current position, entered as a turnaround company with good technicals based on Basil's waveform, is trading up to 170% of its entry point as a portion sold earlier for a 21% gain. Subscribers to The Opening Call can see the Chapman Wave techniques demonstrated and explained daily to educate investors. To get your 2-week free trial to The Opening Call, just visit the front page of TFNN.com. Also, don't miss Basil's program, The Tiger Technicians Hour, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern on TFNN.